I was an A-list actress. While filming a reality show in a remote village, I insisted on marrying the village's old bachelor. I cut ties with my parents and was scorned by everyone. Only when I died did I realize I'd been cursed. Reborn, I'm determined to find the person who harmed me and take back everything that's mine. Oh my God, has Mia lost her mind? She must be cursed, right? What curse? She's just hopelessly romantic. So over-the-top romantic it's diswitchcrafting. I'm done with her, totally unfollowing. Mia used to project this super smart image, bragging about graduating from a prestigious university. And now she marries an old bachelor who dropped out of middle school. I can't even. As a top actress, think of the bad influence she's having on her young female fans. It's sickening, it makes me so mad. The internet was flooded with news about me. But I ignored it all, blissfully nestled in Connor's arms. Connor was 36, a full 10 years older than me. After dropping out of middle school, he stayed home to farm. I met him when I came to the village for a reality show where celebrities lived with local families. In the show, 4 female celebrities were married into farming families, living under the same roof as their mothers-in-law, sharing meals, and doing farm work. It was a comprehensive test of our abilities. I was staying at Connor's house. Although his mother was harsh and treated me poorly, Connor was very gentle. After just a week together, I fell deeply in love with him. To be with him, I broke my contract with my agency, paying an astronomical termination fee. My parents chased me to the village, tearfully threatening to disown me, but I didn't care. I simply couldn't leave Connor. I thought this was love. 3 years into our marriage, his mother and he had spent all my savings. Once the money was gone, Connor started beating me witchcraftly, but I endured it, almost welcoming it. It wasn't until I was on my deathbed and met a passing mystic that I learned I'd been cursed. You've been hit with the most insidious love curse. It not only robs you of your reason but also drains your life force. You won't live past 3 years. He helped me break the curse. With my last breath, I called my parents. Mom. The line on the other end was busy. Only then did I remember. After my dad died of illness last year, my mom had blocked me. I was filled with hatred. I'd been destroyed, yet I didn't even know who my enemy was. I stared blankly at the ceiling, 2 lines of bloody tears streaming down my face. If only life could start over. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day I first arrived in the village. My manager, Lucy, who was also my best friend, was excitedly waving a contract in her hand. Mia, I pulled a lot of strings to get you on this show. You have to make the most of it. Your popularity is already high enough, now you need to cultivate a more down-to-earth, relatable image. I looked at her dazed. Lucy. Back then, after everything went wrong, everyone criticized me. Only Lucy consistently supported me online, saying she'd back my choices no matter what. Later, when I cut ties with my parents and paid a huge sum to my agency, I was struggling financially. It was Lucy who often secretly helped me out, transferring money to my account. During those years of isolation before my death, Lucy was the only one who showed me any warmth. I rushed forward and hugged Lucy, my eyes red. Lucy, I'm back. I'm back, before all the terrible things happened. I'm still that shining A-list actress. I buried my face in her shoulder, my emotions surging, my body trembling. Hey, what are you crying for, drama queen? Lucy gently patted my back. Are you just too tired? Let's go to the house where you'll be staying. Even though it was supposed to be a random draw, I secretly arranged it for you. Connor's place is the best off among the 4 families. Bella, though, she got unlucky. She drew Leo's place, the poorest one. Just a mud brick hut with a pigsty next to it. Stinks to high heaven, ha ha. Lucy chuckled, trying to comfort me. A chill ran down my spine. I lifted my head from her shoulder, staring at her through teary eyes. Connor's place. You arranged it? Yeah. I know you're delicate and can't handle hardship. I had to sweet-talk the production team quite a bit. Lucy winked playfully at me. But a storm was raging inside me. This show, she specifically got it for me. Connor's place, she arranged it too. Could the person who cursed me in my past life be her? Lucy and I were dragging our suitcases down a muddy, 3-way fork in the road when we ran into Bella and her assistant. Bella wore a sun hat and sunglasses, her assistant fanning her relentlessly. Seeing us, Bella stopped. Mia, did you bribe the production team? It was supposed to be a random draw, but you pull these kinds of stunts behind the scenes. I really hate people like you. Bella glared at me. Before I could say anything, her assistant quickly pulled her aside. Oh, for goodness sake, just drop it. What difference does it make where you stay? Easy for you to say. You're not the one living there. Talk is cheap. Bella shoved her assistant, who stumbled. Bella quickly steadied her own suitcase. This contains a pair of white elephant phi witchcraft trees I brought back from Thailand. It's a housewarming gift for my mother-in-law. Don't you dare damage them. According to the rules, on the first day the 4 celebrity daughters-in-law moved in, they had to give their mothers-in-law a gift. I had brought a gold bracelet. After the show aired, viewers joked that I was the most down-to-earth celebrity, knowing what rural mothers-in-law liked. I watched Bella and her assistant walk away, lost in thought. Bella had just returned from a trip to Thailand. And according to that mystic, hexes were extremely prevalent in Thailand and Southeast Asia. Could Bella be the one who harmed me? Bella and I both had a similar striking, glamorous look, and we often competed for the same roles. But I had always been more famous, overshadowing her. In my previous life, after I stayed in the village and married, Bella took over almost all my previous endorsement deals, successfully becoming an A-list actress. She was a strong suspect too. My mind heavy with thoughts, I dragged my suitcase to Connor's house. The cameras were already set up, and with the director's command, filming officially began. Connor and his mother sat somewhat awkwardly on the living room sofa. Connor wore a faded t-shirt. He was average-looking, his fingernails and teeth yellowed from years of smoking. This was the man, the most honest and simple-looking farmer, who would later beat me countless times. Witchcraft and anger churned within me. I stared at Connor, motionless for a long moment. Ahem, the recording is officially starting. Mia, for your first meeting, did you prepare a gift for your mother-in-law? The assistant director prompted from the side. I calmed down and nodded. Auntie, this is my gift for you. Instead of the gold bracelet, I casually handed over a stalk of foxtail grass I'd picked by the roadside, placing it in Connor's mother's hand. The live chat instantly exploded. OMG, did Mia just give her a weed? What is she doing? Is she looking down on country folk? The show was being live-streamed, and according to the rules, once filming began, the director's team couldn't intervene. Several directors looked furious, but could only stand by helplessly and watch. Connor scratched his head, looking embarrassed. Mia, what's the meaning of this? Oh, doesn't Auntie like this gift? I spent a long time picking it out. I earnestly held the stalk of grass out to Connor's mom. Her mouth twitched a few times, then she suddenly lunged forward and slapped my hand hard. With a sharp crack, a red mark quickly appeared on the back of my hand, and the grass fell to the floor. You little bitch, what are you trying to pull? Who do you think you are looking down on people? We country folk are honest and decent. A damn sight better than you trash who sleep with men for money. Connor's mom's face was contorted with rage as she spewed a torrent of obscenities. She was a sensitive woman with an explosive temper, easily provoked. In my past life, during the first few days of filming, she had put on a convincing act, which led to my fans calling me spoiled. This time, I wanted to expose her true colors from the start, to let everyone see how hateful this mother and son really were. Connor's mom's cursing was so vile that the live chat, initially filled with criticism for me, gradually saw viewers becoming uncomfortable. Damn, her lamb witchcraftage is filthy. Did you see her eyes? It looks like she wants to kill someone. A bit scary. Yeah, this mother-in-law is no saint either. Once she had vented her fill, I looked down at the grass on the floor and feigned realization. Oh my, I'm so sorry, so sorry. Auntie, I'm truly sorry. That's not what I meant to give you. I pulled the gold bracelet out of my bag and, with an apologetic smile, handed it to her. This is the gift I prepared for you. I don't know what came over me just now. It was like I was possessed. Auntie, I'm terribly sorry. Maybe it's because of some family matters recently. I was just distracted. I bowed to her in apology, then apologized to the production team, promising to be fully focused from then on, and not make such a mistake again. See, I told you Mia wasn't like that. Yeah, she looked a bit out of it when she first came in. Something seemed off. Maybe something's going on at home. It happens. I once threw a banana in the trash and tried to eat the peel when I was distracted. Haha, I've done that too. Mia seems normal, but compared to her, Connor's mom's reaction is definitely not normal. Yeah, that mother-in-law is terrifying. Look how red Mia's hand is, poor thing. The more sincere my apology, the more it highlighted how harsh Connor's mom had been. The live chat was flooded with comments criticizing her. Connor's face turned beet red. Mia, don't mind her. My mom's just like that, harsh words but a soft heart. She'll be fine after she's vented. Connor's mom grudgingly took the bracelet from my hand and turned into the kitchen. I have something for you too. The show's rule was for the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law to exchange gifts. After accepting my gold bracelet, Connor's mom came out of the kitchen a moment later with a pair of plastic gloves. Connor stood beside her, smiling gently. Mia, look, Mom knows city people are delicate, and your hands have soft skin. She specially bought you these gloves. If you wear these for housework, you won't hurt your hands. Thank you. I accepted the gloves calmly. You know, this Connor Witchcrafty is actually quite thoughtful. Are you nuts, upstairs commenter? You want that kind of thoughtfulness? Yeah, telling someone to do chores is thoughtful. He hasn't lifted a finger, just flapping his witchcraftums. What a phony honest man. Because of their dissatisfaction with Connor's mom, the audience started to find Connor annoying as well. After breakfast, as Connor and I were about to go out for farm work, Connor's mom called me aside and told me to hold out my hand. In a nearby ceramic bowl was a poultice of green herbs. Connor's mom applied it to the back of my hand. Mia, Mom's just a straightforward person. Don't take it to heart. This medicine on your hand will reduce the swelling in no time. Thank you, Auntie. Auntie, you know medicine too? I asked casually. Connor, standing nearby, smiled shyly. My mom is from the witchcraft tribe. My great-grandmother was even a witchcraft healer in our village. Everyone in the village went to her when they were sick. A simple sentence, yet it sent shockwaves through me. According to the old mystic, hexes were prevalent in Southeast Asia, but their origins were indeed from China's witchcraft tribe and the sect. Hexes were divided into medicine hexes, blood hexes, and ghost hexes. The medicine hexes originated from the witchcraft tribe's witchcraft magic. So, could Connor's mom have been the one who cursed me? Wow, that's amazing. From the witchcraft tribe. I've heard people from the witchcraft tribe can cast witchcraft spells. Auntie, can you do that too? I feigned curiosity. Connor's mom's expression changed instantly. No. There's no such thing as witchcraft. Don't listen to nonsense. Her mom looks really unnatural. Could she really cast witchcraft spells? Sounds so mysterious. It's definitely fake. That's so unscientific. But to be fair, his mom is really straightforward. Curses someone, then gives them medicine. Not a bad heart. Connor's mom was reluctant to talk about witchcraft spells. On the way to the fields with Connor, I kept bringing up the topic. Connor, I heard that besides witchcraft spells, many witchcraft people also know hexing. Do you know anything about hexes? Connor hesitated. I haven't heard about that. I let out a cold "oh," quickened my pace, and walked ahead, leaving Connor far behind. When he caught up, I made sure to keep at least a meter's distance when talking to him, a look of disdain on my face. Mia's being a bit much, isn't she? Aren't they supposed to be playing husband and wife? She looks like she really dislikes Connor. Yeah, Connor hasn't done anything to her, right? He seems pretty honest. Honest? With his mom cursing like that, I doubt he's much better. Probably all an act. Didn't his mom apologize? I actually think it's easier to deal with people like that. If they're unhappy, they shout, and once it's over, it's over. Why is Mia so curious about witchcraft spells and hexes? As soon as she heard Connor didn't know, she ignored him. Unbelievable. Hexes were mysterious and unpredictable. I was already in the village, and I didn't know who the real culprit was. Even though I was reborn, I wasn't completely confident I could avoid being harmed. But I wanted to plant a seed of doubt in all the viewers' minds. I couldn't be like before, acting friendly towards Connor and his mother just to maintain a relatable image. Later, when I insisted on marrying Connor, The show edited together all the clips of me praising him and being affectionate, making it look like I had loved him all along. Now, with this disdainful attitude, if I were cursed again, at least public opinion wouldn't be so one-sided, blaming me for being blinded by love. As for my popularity with the audience, I couldn't worry about that anymore. Connor and I went to the well to fetch water, and Bella and her partner, Leo, were also there. Leo was a young man in his early 20s with tan skin. He told Bella to rest while he eagerly did the work. Connor, you witchcrafties are here too. Want me to help you carry it? Leo reached for my water bucket, but Bella pulled him aside. Look at you, silly. You're stealing their chance to shine, Bella said coquettishly. Leo's face instantly flushed red, and he scratched his head, standing awkwardly to the side. Connor smiled thickly. Thanks, Leo, but we can manage. The village well had a frame built over it, with a bucket tied in the middle. You could raise the bucket by cranking a handle on the side. Connor went to crank the handle, telling me to take our wooden bucket to catch the water. I walked over, and just as I bent down, I felt a sharp pain in my calf. I looked down. Leo's metal bucket was next to me. The handle was wound with 2 loops of wire, one end sticking out sharply, and it had scratched my calf. Oh no, you're bleeding, Bella exclaimed from the side, pulling a tissue from her pocket and rushing over to press it against my wound. Leo, there are bandages in the bag I brought. It's on the coffee table. Go get them for me. Bella's actually pretty nice. Her first reaction was to help Mia with her wound. Yeah, their fans are always fighting, but maybe they get along okay in private? You witchcrafties are so naive. With so many cameras around, even if they hated each other, they'd have to put on an act. It's all about image, don't take the show too seriously. Soon, the bandages arrived, and Bella applied one for me. There. That thing is all rusty, you should get a tetanus shot later. The production team should have them. Thank you, Bella. After I thanked her sincerely, Bella nodded dismissively, and then casually stuffed the blood-stained tissue into her pants pocket. She was wearing overalls with a white t-shirt today, looking youthful and vibrant. The overalls had a large pocket on the chest. I stared at that pocket, my heart clenching. To cast a hex, you needed the victim's hair, blood, or skin. That tissue was soaked with my blood. I reached out to Bella. That tissue, I can throw it away myself. Bella rolled her eyes. I just put it in my pocket because there's no trash can here. It was just a casual thing. You're making it sound like I'm some kind of creep who wants to keep your used tissue. What's wrong with you? Bella angrily threw the tissue back at me. Yeah, Mia's attitude is really weird. Mia probably just didn't want to bother her. I think Bella overreacted. Those two probably had issues before. Seriously, they can't even pretend for a minute. Who was it saying they got along well earlier? In the morning, we fetched water and did laundry. In the afternoon, we went up the mountain to pick tea leaves. After a full day of farm work, I was exhausted. Connor had been following me around all day, but I hadn't said a single word to him. After dinner, we finally had some free time to rest. During this rest period, the cameras were off. I went back to my room. Lucy had the team doctor give me a tetanus shot. Then she lightly patted my arm, looking at me with a "you're impossible" expression. Girl, what was with you today? We talked about the relatable persona, and you didn't say a single word to Connor. Just look at what they're saying about you online now. Lucy opened up my social media fan page and pointed to the comments. The top comment was "Mia looks down on country people." Whatever, I'm dead tired. Fine, get some rest. You have to be up at 7 tomorrow. I took off my dirty jacket, went into the bathroom to shower. Only after showering did I remember the bloody tissue was still in my jacket pocket. When I came out in my pajamas, Lucy had already left. The door was closed, and the room was empty. The jacket was tossed on the floor. I squatted down, reached into the pocket, and my face instantly turned deathly pale. The tissue was gone. I immediately called Lucy. Lucy, did you take anything from my pocket? What? Is something missing? Oh God, you didn't bring any expensive jewelry, did you? It's nothing, just lost a hair tie. On the other end of the line, Lucy audibly sighed in relief. You have a ton in your makeup bag. Just grab another one. I hung up, my mind heavy with worry. I'd only been in the village for a day, but Connor's mom, Lucy, and even Bella, who had suddenly been so attentive today. Everyone was a suspect. I couldn't just sit back and wait. I clutched my phone, thought for a moment, and sent messages to a few close friends, telling them something felt off about this village, and asking them to recommend a spiritual master. Mia, didn't you used to hate all this stuff? So many people in showbiz are into those little ghost charms, and you never believed in any of it. Speaking of masters, I actually know one. Met her when I was filming a show in the Ileo Mountains in Yunnan. Don't let her age fool you. She's young but really knows her stuff. Reading Liam's message, my eyes lit up. Can you give me her number? Liam sent over a number, explaining that the person was a college student named Joe. My heart sank a little. A college student? So young in this line of work, what could she possibly know? But Liam was a devout Christian, always the most scientifically minded person I knew. If even he vouched for her, she might really have some special abilities. Feeling a slight sense of relief, I lay down on the bed, exhausted, and quickly fell asleep. In the middle of the night, I suddenly had a very strange feeling. I turned over and groggily opened my eyes. A dark witchcrafter was standing by my bed, leaning over and staring at me. My heart leaped into my throat. I instinctively held my breath, my whole body rigid. The person just stood there, watching me. Their gaze lingered on my face for a long moment. Then they reached out, gently touched my hair, tucked me in and left. Hearing the door close, I sat up, gasping for air. It was Connor. Just now, I'd felt a sharp tug on my scalp. He had plucked a strand of my hair. I sat in the silent darkness, tears streaming down my face, feeling like a lone boat adrift on a vast ocean, surrounded by countless menacing shadows. Lucy, Bella, Connor, and his mother. There wasn't a single person around me I could trust. If I didn't find the real culprit, even if I stopped filming immediately and returned to Shanghai, I was afraid I'd still be targeted and eventually fall prey to them. I couldn't just wait for disaster to strike. After some thought, I took out my phone and sent a text message to my family and a few friends. If I start acting strangely after this show, please, you have to help me. Then I typed in the number Liam had given me and sent a friend request. There was no response. They were probably asleep at this hour. After doing all this, I felt a little more at ease. I turned off my phone and forced myself to close my eyes. The next morning, as soon as I turned on my phone, a WeChat notification popped up. Joe has accepted your friend request. Surprised and delighted, I immediately made a voice call and explained the situation. What? A hex? Someone's trying to harm you? A panting voice came from the other end, sounding like they were jogging. They took your hair and the bloody tissue is gone? Oh, don't worry, it's not a huge problem. Joe explained that for both witchcraft tribe love spells and Thai love hexes, hair was a crucial component. In ancient times, when couples married, they would each cut a lock of hair and wrap them together in red cloth, symbolizing unwavering love and becoming hair-tied husband and wife. That's where the term comes from. It's not a baseless custom. Hair is sometimes called the 3,000 threads of vexation, or threads of love. Monks shave their heads to sever these emotional ties because the earliest forms of witchcraft indicated that hair holds a person's emotions. A love hex involves first making a palm-sized doll from straw or cloth. A harmony charm is drawn in cinnabar on both the front and back, and then the doll is soaked in corpse oil for 49 days. Once the doll changes color, the first strand of hair from both the victim and the caster is wound around it. For the next 7 days, one strand of hair shed that day from each person must be wound onto the doll daily. On the 7th day, when the doll is wrapped with 14 strands of hair, it's burned to ashes. The ashes are then mixed with water and given to the victim to drink for the hex to take effect. I listened, stunned. 49 days? Then it can't be Connor, we've only just met. The person who started plotting against me this early must be Lucy or Bella. But Connor was the one who just plucked my hair, and his 7 strands are also needed for the doll. He must be an accomplice. That thing soaked in corpse oil is full of dark energy. If you want to break the hex, it's quite simple. Find a rooster in the village, one that's at least 3 years old. Pour its blood over the doll, and the spell will be broken. Isn't he coming back tonight to take more of your hair? When he does, secretly follow him and see where the ritual setup is. Once the altar for the hex is set up, It can't be moved. You can find a chance during the day to destroy it. Joe's cheerful tone was strangely comforting, and I gradually calmed down. Yes, this kind of evil magic could only be done in secret. If it were brought out into the open, they should be the ones who were afraid. Mia, it's time to start filming. Give me your things for safekeeping. Lucy came up, smiling. I nodded and handed her my phone. You take it easy today, okay? Be nicer to Connor, or it'll be hard to explain to the company. Understand? Got it. I answered her perfunctorily, but as soon as filming started, my attitude towards Connor was even worse. I barely looked him in the face. Mia, have some water. Connor handed me a cup of water. I immediately turned my head away. No thanks, I can get it myself. Connor's mom saw this and immediately started scolding. What are you so proud of? You'll still have to be a good little wife in my house eventually. Then she turned to glare at her son. Wasting your time fawning over her cold shoulder every day. What are you so desperate for? Once she's in your room, you can deal with her however you want. The live chat, which had been criticizing me, immediately turned on her after her outburst. This old lady really thinks Mia is her daughter-in-law? So funny. Does she actually think filming a show means the production team will just give her a daughter-in-law? Yeah, and saying Connor can deal with her in his room. What kind of talk is that? This family is seriously messed up. But Mia's attitude towards Connor is pretty bad too. The show is for her to be a daughter-in-law, not a princess. I don't know what she's being so arrogant about. Connor's mom, realizing her slip of the tongue witchcraft, shot me an annoyed glare. Had enough rest? Go water the vegetable patch this afternoon. I ignored Connor all day. After filming, Lucy naturally lectured me again. I finally made it to the evening, lay in bed pretending to be asleep, and sure enough, Connor came again. Even with my eyes closed, I could feel his intense gaze fixed on my face. A pair of rough hands caressed my face. My scalp tingled slightly again as Connor plucked another strand of my hair. Then he brought his lips close to my cheek. A strong smell of stale smoke wafted over. I fought back nausea and pretended to turn over in my sleep. Connor froze as expected. After a moment, footsteps sounded, and the door was gently closed. I immediately threw off the covers, put on my shoes, and followed him. Connor's family was relatively well off for the village, with a new 3-story house. Connor and his mother lived on the 2nd floor. The 3rd floor had 3 rooms. Lucy's was next to the stairs, and mine was at the far end. The lights were off at night, and the hallway was only dimly lit by the moonlight filtering through the window, casting a grayish gloom. Holding my breath, I had just opened my door and taken a few steps when I saw another witchcrafter standing at the top of the stairs. Terrified, I pressed myself tightly against the wall. Did you get it? A familiar voice. It was Lucy. What took you so long in there? You didn't do anything inappropriate, did you? I'm warning you, after these few days, you can mess around all you want. But if you wake her up now and cause a scene, it'll be big trouble. Lucy hissed, threatening Connor. I bit my lip hard, tears welling up in my eyes despite myself. It really was her. I had always considered Lucy my best friend. After college, she couldn't find a job. I had just been discovered by a talent scout and filmed a commercial, already gaining some fame. I turned down the company's top agent and, against everyone's advice, brought her to my side. I paid her the highest salary, took her traveling, and often gifted her luxury cosmetics and bags. I truly believed I had never wronged her in any way. But why? Why would she do this to me? I trembled with anger, clenching my fists tightly. Taking a deep breath, I tried to calm myself and carefully followed them. Connor's house actually had a cellar. Next to the kitchen was a woodshed, cluttered and dusty. I'd never been inside. The back of the woodshed was sectioned off by a curtain. Pulling it aside revealed a staircase leading down. The cellar wasn't large. I didn't dare follow them further, only crouching at the top of the stairs, peeking down. An altar stood against the wall, a table covered with a white cloth, scrawled with chaotic symbols. In front of the altar, a white-haired old woman sat on a cushion with her back to me, hands clasped, murmuring incantations. Connor, his mother, and Lucy sat behind her, staring at her nervously. Great aunt, how many more days until it's done? Connor urged in a low voice. Connor's mom shot him a fierce glare. Shut up. Why are you in such a hurry? Lucy nodded. Yeah, Auntie, you should really scold him. Look at him, so impatient, like he hasn't seen a woman in 8 lifetimes. Every time he goes to Mia's room, he stays for ages. If he scares Mia off, your son's bride will be gone, and so will your future fortune. My eyes widened in shock, and I clapped my hand over my mouth. Auntie? Lucy and their family were relatives? Do you have any idea how much money celebrities make? Just from the contracts I've secured for Mia these past few years, she's earned at least 9 Witchcrafters. We were college classmates, roommates even. My grades were better than hers. Why should I be trailing after her like a servant every day? She placates me with some free skincare products and bags from advertisers, like an old master rewarding a maid, and then she congratulates herself, thinking she's so good to me. Every time I see that condescending look on her face, I just want to scratch it off. In the dim, yellow light, Lucy's face was contorted, her expression twisted. I've loved Liam for so many years. Why does she get to have dinner with him, go shopping with him, even film kissing scenes with him, while I can only watch from afar? Even funnier, she gave me Liam's autograph, calling it a surprise for me. Ha ha ha, hilarious. Is an autograph all I deserve? Great aunt, if the love curse between my cousin and Mia succeeds this time, next time, do one for me and Liam. I'll pay you double. The old woman on the cushion, her eyes closed and cheekbones prominent, continued to bow her head and chant. I couldn't listen anymore. A small favor earns gratitude, but too much breeds resentment. I never thought that for all these years, I'd been nurturing a snake in the grass. I stumbled out of the woodshed and stood in the courtyard. The cold wind hit me, and I suddenly changed my mind. Even if I destroyed this altar, what punishment would Lucy face? Nothing had actually happened yet. Her actions didn't even constitute a crime. I could only fire her, there was nothing else I could do. I clenched my fists hard. I wouldn't stand for it. The suffering I endured in my past life, I would make Lucy taste it too. I snuck back into Lucy's room, found a few strands of her hair from her pillow, and after they all left, I slipped back into the cellar and swapped my 2 hairs for Lucy's. The next day during filming, I still gave Connor the cold shoulder. We were watering the vegetable patch, and Connor called me over to rest. There's so much work, no need to rush. Mia, sit down for a bit. I straightened up, looked at the small patch of land by his feet, and frowned. It's only been an hour, and you've asked me to rest 4 or 5 times. It's not that much work, I'm not that delicate. You, on the other hand, look at yourself. You haven't even watered as much as I have. As I continued working, I muttered under my breath. I really don't know what Lucy sees in you. Connor stood there, his face flushed, completely at a loss. Ha ha ha, Mia really loves farm work. Yeah, she's been working really hard these past few days. Does she think this show is a farming competition? To be honest, Connor is really lazy. All talk, no action. Look at the area he's watered. Not even a third of what Mia's done. What did Mia mean by that just now? Isn't Lucy her manager? Lucy is also her best friend. She probably meant choosing Connor as her partner for the show. I think Connor is just average. Leo next door is much better, young and willing to work. Connor awkwardly tried to help several times, but I subtly blocked him. Don't. Lucy will scold me again later. I deliberately made my words ambitwitchcraftous, sounding as if Lucy would reprimand me because of the company's image. But after things unfolded, every word I said now would become evidence that they had been in love all along. 7 days passed in a flash, and finally, it was the last day. After filming was completed, the production team set up long tables in the village, inviting the 4 families and the entire crew to a farewell dinner and bonfire party. Lucy sat beside me, looking terrible. Mia, what on earth is wrong with you? Look at your attitude towards Connor. You've barely said a few words to him in 7 days. Do you know how nasty the online comments are now? I've contacted several PR firms, and none of them can spin your performance these past few days in a positive light. Ugh, stop nagging. I do so much farm work every day, and the mosquitoes here are awful. Do you think I have the energy to put on a happy face for him? Let them say what they want, it's not like I'm going to lose a piece of flesh over it. I put down my wine glass and walked away, looking thoroughly annoyed. You're getting really long-winded these days. Bella nearby scoffed. Well, bad publicity is still publicity, right? Say what you will, but your Mia has been trending #1 every day this week. Even if it's for being criticized, others are quite envious, you know, hee hee hee. Lucy's face was stern. After a while, Connor walked over to her. They whispered a few words, and Lucy's expression softened considerably. Lucy sat down next to me and handed me the wine glass from the table. Forget it. I know you. You were like this in college. The more you like someone, the meaner you act. Lucy deliberately spoke loudly, and several people around us heard and looked at me in surprise. Bella laughed. Ha ha ha. What does that mean? Could she actually have feelings for that Connor? It's not like that. Mia, you've worked hard these past few days. I was in a bad mood earlier. I apologize. Lucy was about to raise her glass. Just then Xiao Mei, the makeup artist, suddenly screamed. Everyone looked in her direction, and I instantly, swiftly swapped our 2 glasses. Xiao Mei continued to scream. A snake. There's a snake. So annoying. Everyone's making a big fuss over nothing. I raised my glass, clinked it with Lucy's, and then drained the wine in one witchcraft gulp. Lucy also finished her wine, her eyes sparkling with triumph. The next morning, I had just finished dressing when the door to my room was suddenly flung open. Bella stood there, holding her phone, dramatically greeting her camera. Filming is all done, and we're heading back today. Mia, I heard you brought motion sickness pills. Could you give me a few? Oh. Seeing me fully dressed and composed, Bella let out a shriek. I sneered. Sure enough, it was exactly like the plot from my previous life. In my past life, it was also on the day we were supposed to leave the village. Bella, while live streaming and interacting with her fans, came to my room to borrow something and walked in on Connor and me, disheveled and in bed together. Our affair was exposed just like that, and I was shamed relentlessly by everyone. Back then, I thought it was a coincidence. Now looking back, it was clearly something Lucy and Bella had planned together. All 3 of them were witchcraft guilty. Alright, what's all the shouting about so early in the morning? The motion sickness pills are with Lucy. I'll take you to get them. I shot Bella an annoyed glare, and led her to the next room. Bella, clueless, followed me looking confused. When the door opened, Bella gasped and let out another piercing scream. Oh my God! You two! What are you doing? On the bed, Connor and Lucy lay naked, embracing each other, the blanket pulled up just to their chests. Lucy groggily opened her eyes, and Connor immediately pulled the blanket over her face. I quickly stepped forward to block Bella's phone. Are you crazy? Why are you filming everything? Don't you have any respect for people's privacy? Our commotion was loud, and the doors to the neighboring rooms opened. The makeup artists and stylists all crowded around to see what was happening. Connor's mom, already prepared, rushed upstairs, slapped her thigh, and yelled, Heavens! What on earth is going on? My Connor isn't this kind of person. It must be Mia. Mia started it. Everyone instantly fell silent, turning in unison to stare at Connor's mom. I frowned. What are you talking about? Connor's mom was dumbfounded. Why are you here? Then who's in that room? She stormed into the room, ripped off the covers, and her face turned deathly pale. She shrieked Lucy. Lucy's reaction, however, was surprisingly calm. Auntie, what are you making a scene about? Everyone, please leave first. Let us get dressed. Connor sat on the bed in a daze, looking at me, then at Lucy beside him, his face full of regret. Last night, he had come looking for me, but unexpectedly Lucy intercepted him at the door. Lucy was young and pretty. Connor couldn't resist and immediately forgot all about the hex. They locked themselves in the room and spent the night together. Things having reached this point, Lucy decided to explain everything to everyone. She said she and Connor's family were originally relatives, and they were childhood sweethearts. Connor was, in fact, her boyfriend. She told us to leave first, saying she wanted to stay in the village and live with Connor. I objected. Lucy, that's not a good idea. You're my manager, and we still have a 3-year contract. You should come back to Shanghai with me first. Even if you really want to marry Connor, you need to go back and sort out your work. But Lucy clung to Connor's arm, her face blissful. It's just a contract termination fee, right? I'll pay it to the company. You can handle the rest for me. I just want to stay here. I don't want to be separated from Connor for even a day." The production crew was very surprised, but since it was Lucy's private matter, no one said much. They could only pack their things and prepare to leave. Connor's mom, however, wouldn't have it. She grabbed my arm. "You can't leave. You're supposed to stay and be our family's daughter-in-law. Something must have gone wrong. You're our daughter-in-law, you can't go. Auntie, this is just a show. Please let go of Mia." The crew members came over to mediate, and in the confusion, they pulled me away and rushed me off. Even as the bus pulled away, Connor's mom was still chasing after it, slapping her thighs and cursing. The bus drove further and further away, and Connor's mom's chasing witchcrafter receded into the distance, eventually becoming a small black dot. Only then did I completely relax, slumping into my seat and covering my face with my hands. I had escaped. All the dark past was leaving me behind. The bus traveled along the country road, flanked by lush greenery, with an endless blue sky and hope ahead. The others, seeing my state, assumed I was upset about Lucy and started comforting me. "Forget it. Lucy is clearly blinded by love. Rural conditions might be a bit rough, but they're relatives, so their life won't be too bad. Yeah, Connor is her cousin. I never would have witchcraftist. But you can't marry within 3 generations of blood relatives. She calls Connor's mom auntie, so it should be outside of 3 generations, right?" Everyone chattered away. I calmed down and opened my phone. News about Lucy was already spreading online. She was just a manager, not a celebrity, so it wasn't as sensational as my situation had been, but plenty of people were discussing it. Lucy is Mia's manager, right? Her annual income must be pretty high. I heard Mia pays her a 6-witchcrafter salary. Why would she fall for an old bachelor like that? Heard they're relatives, some childhood sweetheart connection. Nothing much to say there, respect her choice. But she can't just do this. She's getting married, not rushing to her grave. Why didn't she even go back to the company? Leaving all the mess for Mia to handle. So hopelessly romantic. No wonder Mia was so cold to Connor. She probably felt bad for her best friend. Oh yeah, she did say before that she didn't know what Lucy saw in him. So that's what she meant. Most of the discussion criticized Lucy for being a love-struck fool. No one found her decision to marry Connor strange. After returning to the company, I dealt with the pile of messes and found a new manager. Overwhelmed with work, I got a call from Liam, saying he was with Joe and wanted to treat me to dinner. I quickly had someone book a restaurant. I was truly grateful to Joe for her help this time. We sat in a private room at the restaurant. I took out a card and handed it to Joe. "Master Joe, thank you so much for this time. If it weren't for you, I don't know what I would have done." Joe frowned at me and didn't take the card. "You didn't do as I said. Messing with the altar is very dangerous." My heart skipped a beat, and I confessed honestly. I just couldn't swallow my anger. You touched the corpse oil. There's a black aura clinging to your fingers. This matter has a karmic tie to you. In the future, if Lucy seeks your help, you must assist her 3 times. So that was it. No wonder in my past life, Lucy lent me money several times. Was she just settling a karmic debt? Joe accepted my card. As our hands touched, she suddenly gripped my wrist, looked at it for a few moments, and her eyes lit up. I panicked. "Master Joe, what's wrong?" Joe sighed. This is trouble. You've been targeted by someone else too. Someone is using your blood to feed a little ghost." I gasped. Feeding a little ghost? Could it be Bella? This is another type of hex, called a ghost hex. By feeding a little ghost, with fresh blood, it will absorb your luck and life force. And this little ghost is very powerful. If it's not stopped, it will drain you like this, and you won't live past 3 years. Not live past 3 years? In my previous life, I indeed only lived for 3 years. I always thought it was because of the love curse. It turned out I was afflicted by 2 curses. Someone wanted to see me fall into ruin, and someone else wanted my life. Joe rested her chin on her hand, her thumb and forefinger rubbing together thoughtfully. Troublesome. Very troublesome. I was about to cry. "Master Joe, how troublesome. No matter how much money it costs, it's fine. Having been reborn with such difficulty, Finally able to live a normal life. I really didn't want to die. Joe looked serious. In my line of work, we only talk about fate and connection, not price. Mia, we have a connection. My fee, let's say for this fated encounter, is 3 million. Hexes, especially those involving raising little ghosts, are different from other spells. If the little ghost cannot absorb blood and vitality, it will turn on its master. Joe performed several rituals for me. Soon, I heard that Bella had met with an accident. While filming, her harness wire suddenly snapped, and she fell from a height of 10 meters, falling into a coma. Media reports said there was a high probability she would be paralyzed for life. I felt no sympathy. In 2 lifetimes, she had tried to take my life. This was all her own doing. I cleared my work schedule and went home to spend some time with my parents. My father had always had a heart condition. In my previous life, he was so distraught over my situation that he had a heart attack and passed away prematurely. This life, I would stay by their side, hoping they would remain healthy and live long lives. While at home, I received a call from Lucy. She was crying hysterically, saying Connor and her mother-in-law were beating her. Mia, can you lend me some money? After paying the contract termination fee, I don't have much left. My mother-in-law demands gold bracelets and rings every day, and she even wants me to buy her a house in the city. My down payment isn't enough. Can you lend me $1 million? I scoffed and offered cold comfort. He's abusing you? If it's really bad, you should call the police. What's the point of staying with someone like that? But I can't do that. Lucy stammered. Love can numb the pain. I simply can't leave Connor. Such great love. I respect your choice. However, I don't have that much cash on hand right now. I can lend you $200,000 for now. After all, in my past life, that's how much you lent me. What you gave me, I will repay in full, not a penny less. Lucy wasn't afflicted by a ghost hex, so she didn't have a short life like I did. She stayed in the village for many years, bore Connor 2 children. When Connor and his mother could no longer extort money from her, they tormented her even more viciously. Lucy's parents visited her in the village a few times, trying to take her back, but she adamantly refused. I heard the 2 families had a huge fight, and things got very ugly. But none of that concerned me. She walked her perilous narrow bridge, I had my own bright, open road. Good and evil will be repaid, it's the way of the world. Those with malicious hearts who deliberately harm others will inevitably suffer the consequences themselves. The end.